Hey everyone. Today I'm going to solve a problem I found interesting in the Canadian Math Kangaroo contest. This is question number 24 from the grade 10 contest paper in 2022. I don't think this is the actual contest paper, and this is just a training exercise, but still I thought this was a great question, so let's take a look at this one. So we have 8 teams participating in a football tournament. Each team plays against each other team exactly once. In each match, the winner gets 3 points and the loser does not get any points. If a match is drawn, each team gets 1 point. At the end of the tournament, the total number of points obtained by all of the teams is 61. What is the largest number of points that the champion team could have obtained? Okay, so I'm going to go through my solution. I really want you to try this out and see if you could do it by yourself. I think this is a kind of a cool problem. Feel free to pause the video at any point if you feel like you know how to get the solution from that point on. Okay, so just to summarize everything here, we have, okay, so a game ends in a, you can say a game ends in a win for one team and a loss for another team. Or, so let me write that as a win slash a loss. Or you can have it as a team ties. So why I'm breaking this up into 2 different scenarios is you're going to see this is going to be something important later. And I'll come back to this. Okay, so right now we got 8 teams and everyone plays against each other once. So let me figure out how many games actually happen in total. So this is a kind of a cool mini exercise right here. How would you figure out if 8 teams play against each other once? How are you going to figure out the number of games they play? How I'm going to do it is I'm going to do a cool method like this. So I'm going to draw a dot for each of the teams. And I'm going to start with this guy right here. So let's say that's team 1. So I'm going to count how many games the first team plays. So the first team is going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which makes sense, right? So if there are 8 teams, the first team is going to play 7 other teams. So we have 7 games team 1 plays. Now I'm going to move to team 2. And the cool thing here is I've already counted the match between team 1 and team 2. So I don't have to count it. I only have to count all of the matches team 2 has uniquely played other than the game they played against team 1. So that would look like this. They're going to play against that team, that team, that team, that team, that team, and that team. So these account for 6 other games team 2 plays, because we've already counted the game team 2 plays with team 1. So that's going to be 6 new games. And now we're going to count all of the matches that we haven't counted before of team 3. So team 3 is going to play team 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We don't have to count the games team 3 plays with teams 1 and 2 again. And so you can sort of see the pattern that's going on. we're only going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so if you can see the pattern, Team 4 is only going to contribute 4 new matches. Team 5 is only going to contribute 3 new matches. Plus 2, plus 1. And then we would get all the way to Team 8. Would we get to Team 8? I think by the time we get to Team 8, all of the matches have been accounted for, and so it's going to be plus 0 at the end for Team 8. So I'm not going to write that out. Okay, so we have 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. You can use the nice addition formula for that, or you can just add it up by hand. Maybe I'll go over the nice addition formula for this in another video. But for now, this is going to be 7 times 8 divided by 2, which is going to equal to 28. Yeah, don't worry about what I wrote here. That's not really important. The important part is getting the fact that there are 28 games that happen in this tournament. Okay, so this is really, really good because now we know there are 28 games. And now I'm going to go back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the problem. We know each game ends in a win for one team or a tie for both teams. So what that means is the net effect for all of the teams is going to look like this. If one team wins and the other team loses, it's going to be a net effect of plus 3. And when I say the net effect, what I mean is like total points for all of the teams combined. So like as an example, like Team A and Team B play, and Team A wins. That means Team A is going to get 3 points and B is going to get 0 points. But because I don't have enough information about the points of each team, and I just know that all of the teams have 61 points in total, I'm only going to look at the total number of points of all of the teams. So this basically generates 3 points for all of the teams in the tournament. If Team A and Team B play, but they tie in this case, they tie, what that means is both teams get 1 point. So as a net effect, that generates 2 points for all of the teams as a whole. Okay, so this is really sick because from here you can actually figure it out because you have 28 matches. Each game ends in a win for some team or both teams tie. And you know the wins contribute plus 3 points, the ties contribute plus 2 points as a net for all of the teams. So what this means is, let me write an example and you'll see you'll see what I'm getting at here. So let's say this is the win column, let's say this is the tie column. So this is technically, when I say a win, it means the game ends in a win for some team. So let's hypothetically say all 28 games were decided by, there were no ties basically. Every game ended in a win for someone. That means the total number of points of all of the teams in the tournament is 28 times 3, which is, let me grab my calculator. I believe that's 84. Now let's take a look at what would happen if you had 27 wins and 1 tie. Well, we know the wins contribute to +3, and we know the ties contribute to +2. So in total, so maybe I'll label this the total points of all teams. So this is going to be 27 times 3 plus 1 times 2 is going to equal 83, I believe. Mm-hmm, 83. So in general, if a team wins a number, in general, if a number of games end in a win and b number of games ends in a tie, we would be able to calculate the total points of all of the teams in the game, in the tournament, But technically, you don't actually need another variable here, because you know all of the games either end in a win or a tie. So this b variable is actually just 28 minus a. So that was a really crucial step, because now what we can do is we can write the general formula for the total points of all of the teams, which is a times 3 plus 28 minus a times 2 is equal to 61. So if I write this more nicely, 3a plus 2 times 28 minus a is equal to 61. So I have 3a plus, oh, I should have mentioned, so this equals to 61 is me now solving the problem, right? Because I know from the problem, all the teams have an aggregate score of 61 points. So I can actually figure out how many wins occurred in the tournament itself. So 3a plus 56 minus 2a is equal to 61. 3a minus 2a is a. 61 minus 56 is 5. And so we just figured out there are going to be 5 wins in the tournament as a whole, which means there's going to be 23 ties in total. And now we can use this information to figure out what is the largest number of points that the champion team could have obtained. Well, we can hypothetically assume, because in the tournament, out of all 28 games, there were 5 games that ended in a win and 28 that were ties. We can assume that the champion team won all 5 of them because we want to sort of maximize the champion team's score. So what that means is champion team won 5 games, and then they tied their other 2 games because each team is going to play 7 games. And so the points for that team, it's going to be 5 times 3 plus 2 times 1, because each win counts for 3 and each tie counts for 1. And so that equals to 17. And so that should be our answer. Cool. Yeah. I guess I'll stop there. This problem, honestly, I was actually stumped on this one for a while. This is quite challenging and it's quite tricky of a problem. But once you do see how to solve it, It is quite nice. Let me know if you see other solutions, and I hope you enjoy this one. Thank you.